During the era of neon shoelaces and members-only jackets,
but it's only authentic if it says members only right here.
1980s America geared up to go all Hulk Hogan on drug and alcohol abuse among teens. Amid this new war on drugs campaign, anti-drug programs sprung up like weeds, and schools gobbled them up like Cookie Monster in a Keebler factory.
Stop eating cookies!
As we look back, though, over the past 30-ish years to evaluate these anti-drug programs, 3 startling facts emerge. 1. They didn't work then. 2. They don't work now. And 3. Schools still use them. Springfield nuclear safety inspector and father of 3 once summed it up this way.
Don't!
Yeah. Welcome to Be More Better, where a better world starts with a better you. My name's Justin, and if this is your first time here,
welcome.
On this channel, you'll find tips, tricks, hacks, commentary, and more to help you be at least a little more better today than you were yesterday. But the sub will mean nothing to you if you don't click that notification bell. As always, your experience, your opinion, your analysis is important to the discussion, so please let us hear from you in the comments below.
I've got something I want to say to you.
Now, the aspect of Be More Better we're focusing on today falls in the category of being a more better parent or educator. So why am I talking about drugs when the topic is on bullying? You'll see in less than 30 seconds. The most popular of these war on drugs programs is DARE, Drug Abuse Resistance Education. All the way back in 2001, the U.S. Surgeon General listed the DARE program in the category of ineffective programs. And back in 2003, the U.S. General Accounting Office also found, quote, no significant differences in illicit drug use between students who received DARE and students who did not. We're fast approaching 2020 and schools are still implementing the DARE program.
That's messed up.
Now, over the past decade, a new epidemic has reared its ugly head. Today, parents, school administrators, politicians, and other organizations are gearing up to go all Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on, wait for it, bullying. Just like the anti-drug programs of the 80s, anti-bullying programs are springing up. And in true Pavlovian fashion, schools are gobbling them up like Skeksis at a dinner party. I love the 80s. Sadly, like all other anti-programs, the anti-bullying endeavors have also failed. A University of Texas Arlington study released in 2013, conducted by Criminology and Criminal Justice Assistant Professor Xiaojing Zhong, SJ, he studied over 7,000 students between the ages of 12 and 18 from 195 schools across the country. I've actually linked to one of SJ's TEDx UTA talks in the description. Here's what SJ said when he saw the results. A very disappointing and a very surprising thing. Our anti-bullying programs, either intervention or prevention, do not work. The study concluded that students attending schools with bullying prevention programs were more likely to have experienced bullying compared to those attending schools without bullying prevention programs.
What gives, Rumi?
Here's what gives. First, most anti-programs only deal with the what instead of the why. It's easier to just throw on a bandage instead of digging out a festering splinter. It's easier to enforce a zero-tolerance policy. It's easier to shout, "Don't be a bully." It's easier to suspend, expel, or even incarcerate. It's easier to bring in a motivational speaker to talk about why being a bully is bad.
You're not going to amount to jack squat!
Instead of dealing with the source of the growing infection. The approach of anti-programs also lean negative. They focus more on the evil it's trying to stop instead of the good it's trying to create. I know it sounds simplistic and all new agey and stuff. But think about the term anti-bullying for a second. Is there any positive behavior being promoted with this phrase? Does it promote division or unity? Contention or acceptance? Anger or understanding? War or peace? Consider another phrase that we use frequently. Fight against bullying, or drugs, or pornography, or cancer, or mullets. Can you find one positive word in that phrase? Fight against something bad. Why must we always be against something? Why are we inclined to phrase the ills we want to cure in terms of aggression? Second, anti-bully programs begin with isolating and marginalizing the bully. They create 2 war camps, the bullies versus the victims. Such isolation magnifies both the bully and victim mentalities, causing the bully to be more aggressive and the victim to feel more vulnerable. We like to say it's wrong to label others, and most of us believe that. But if we truly believe that axiom, then we also need to stop labeling the bullies. They're just kids. Many who do horrible, horrible things to other kids, but many of them may be victims in their own right. No child deep down wants to be the bad kid unless, one, they're led to believe they're incapable of being the good kid, or two, they've been desensitized to the point where bad is cool and good is lame.
You are square.
Marginalizing, even with the best of intentions, still isolates the bully and reinforces their own belief that they're just a bad kid. Bullies know who they are, and when they hear they're going to another anti-bullying assembly...
Sir, she just rolled her eyes at us.
All right, let's get all sciencey for a minute. I even wore my sciencey shirt. There's some Greek dude right there. In their book, Words Can Change Your Brain, Dr. Andrew Newberg, a neuroscientist at Thomas Jefferson University, and Mark Waldman, a neuroscientist and communications expert at Loyola Marymount University, prove why these anti-programs never work. The book goes in depth on how, quote, a single word has the power to influence the expression of genes that regulate physical and emotional stress. In layman terms, words are just as effective as sticks and stones, and they change your brain. In the book, they explain that the use of positive words actually strengthen our frontal lobes and increase cognitive reasoning. But using negative or angry words increases activity in our brain's fear center, releasing stress-producing hormones that interrupt the logic and reasoning processes in the brain. But check this out, they also applied their research to self-image and its relation to those around us. They said that by holding a positive, optimistic word in your mind, you stimulate frontal lobe activity, which changes your perception of yourself and the people you interact with. A positive view of yourself will bias you towards seeing the good in others, whereas a negative self-image will include you towards suspicion and doubt. Over time, the structure of your thalamus will also change in response to your conscious words, thoughts, and feelings. And they believe that the thalamic changes affect the way in which you perceive reality. As long as the current approach to bullying prevention retains its warlike disposition, where only symptoms are managed while leaving the disease untreated, instances of bullying will never go down. Hence the UTA study. In mentally healthy kids, behavior is rooted in self-perception, feelings of competence, and just wanting to fit in. The outside-in approach of most anti-programs fail because they don't promote real change. The inside-out approach, on the other hand, is the only course of treatment that can effectively create enduring change. So, maybe instead of being anti-bully, let's try to be pro-acceptance, pro-respect, pro-civility, pro-love, and positive empowerment. May our mission as parents and educators be to reach into the core of every young person and help them yank out the splinter of poor self-perception. Let's help them, regardless of past or current behavior, see the good within their own heart and to be true to that good. If we want them to see themselves as a good kid, we have to see them as a good kid. If we want them to respect themselves and others, then we need to teach them by example. Before it can start with them, it has to start with us. So let's throw on those members-only jackets, tuck our t-shirts in our jeans, make sure our bangs are perfectly coiffed with an ozone-destroying cloud of hairspray, and join me in saying just say yes to positive programs that promote a healthy self-image for our kids. Remember, it's never too late to be more better. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching. Hey, if you're still watching this, congratulations! You're among a select group of YouTube watchers who actually watched to the end of the episode. So to you I say, thank you.